When the PRS first started back in 2012, feels like a lifetime ago, you know, everybody thought it was going to be a gas gun game at the beginning. There's still a gas gun division, but you look at how things have evolved since then, and it's pretty remarkable. You know, there's a saying that you can't gear your way into the winner's circle, and that's true, but there is no doubt that the sport and the equipment have just evolved at a breakneck pace since the sport started. And so here we are in 2020, and you know, what is the state-of-the-art PRS rifle? And right now it looks an awful lot like this. This is a gun that I'm taking down to the PRS finale in Oklahoma in December, and I had this thing spec'd out and built, you know, to really, you know, give myself as much of an advantage among those world-class shooters as possible. The rifle itself was built by George Gardner at G8 Precision. He's built a bunch of my competition guns over the years, very well known, just makes absolute tack driving hammers. This is built on his Tempest 3-lug Action, so it's got that nice little short bolt throw there. You know, it's quick, it's slick, goes really fast. You know, I have this thing fed out of an AICS type magazine. Initially I had this rifle built on an AW platform, but because of the high round counts in this match, you know, I needed more than 10 rounds. And so I'm running these AICS mags with these Altus extender plates on them to give me enough ammo in the tube there to handle those courses of fire. The most radical thing that I shifted on this rifle from the beginning of the year is the stock. This is the Manners TCS, Tunable competition stock, and really it's kind of a hybrid between a composite stock and a chassis. And so you'll see that it's got the composite elements here, carbon fiber, adjustable cheek piece, you know, the grip and so forth. But you know, underneath this you can see that there's a rail, an ARCA rail, where you can attach things like this Armageddon gear bag and that small plate. You can attach you know, the SkyPod bipod, which is really, you know, one of the top state-of-the-art bipods there. Easy to put on, easy to take off. And it also has a very highly adjustable rear butt plate system here where you can do this for cant and height. You know, so I've got this thing pretty high up there so that, again, the idea to get this to recoil back straight into the shoulder. The other thing I really like about it is how compact it is from the bottom of the stock to the top of the scope. You know, so when you're shooting off obstacles where you have to go into a port or something like that, you know, you're really able to kind of sneak this rifle in there and make those tough shots. You know, the barrel, standard 26-inch barrel, it's got a big muzzle brake under there, again, because we're very concerned about controlling recoil, being able to spot our hits or misses. Recoil management has become a huge part of the game. And part of that is that you'll see this stock also comes with the AICS clutch. So this is a removable little knob here that you can adjust for length, and you can use that to help control the rifle by grabbing it with your lead hand when you're behind the gun. So everything about this stock is really designed for that recoil management, getting in and out of those tight spaces, and of course the whole thing is heavy. There are a series of weights that you can put inside the rail up here, and I've got all but one of those slots filled, and then weights you can stick back here. You know, this thing tips the scales without the bag and bipod, probably about like 22 pounds. That's actually very average now for the sport. The optic on top of it, there are a lot of different scopes that guys are running. No one is the magic formula, but this Nightforce ATACR 7-35 is certainly one of the most competitive and highly used scopes among top shooters. This has that MIL-XT reticle, which I just love. I think it's the smartest reticle design I've seen so far for this type of competition. It's in one of these rock solid spur mounts that allows you to, one, level the scope perfectly. There's a little slot under there that allows you to do that. Very clever system. It also allows you to mount accessories. In this case, I've got this loophole delta point there. And, really this is for some of the field matches that I like to shoot, where you have to find targets in very tough terrain, and that dot can help get you on, sort of landmarks way out there really quick and shave time off the clock. And then of course I've got a little plate here from Hawk Hill that allows me to mount my dope card on there so that when I'm running a stage, I can use that for reference to know when to dial. And of course it also needs to be, super accurate, which it is. And I guess the last thing that really bears mentioning is the trigger. This has a Trigger Tech diamond trigger in there. That has become, again, kind of one of the most highly used triggers out there. It's tunable, it's crisp, it has, basically infinitesimally small amount of perceived take-up in it. It is just a phenomenal trigger. And the whole package here, this is kind of the state-of-the-art PRS rifle. Next year, who knows? Somebody's going to build a better mousetrap. Somebody's going to figure out something better. But right now, this is about as good as it gets.